Welcome back. So the news is the market reaction is very, very measured to, the events that have transpired since the last 24 hours. Taiwan's actually the one that's falling the most. Otherwise, most markets are down about 0.5%. Hang Seng's down even lesser than that. Japan's down about 0.5% as well. The implied open was telling us that we could start lower by about 100 points, 120 points. Let's see if that's still the picture. Yeah, been 120 points. Now it's about 103 points. Of course, there are individual stocks as well that we have to keep on our radar. So let's go to our team to look at the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch this Monday morning. Guys, hi to all of you. Vinny, let's start with IT, usually a safe haven in times of, risk off. Plus, there's Accenture. So tell us more.
So in terms of Accenture that have come in, revenue that met the guidance, they saw a growth of around 7% on a year-on-year basis. Other than that guidance, 6 to 7% now is the guidance. Previous guidance was 5 to 7%. So lower end of the guidance is what they've increased. Organic growth guidance of 3 to 4% as well. So that is nearing that pre-COVID long-term average. So these are certain positives that have come in for the company. Overall, the Q4 guidance for next quarter, which they've given, is also 1 to 5%, reflecting some bit of a headwind that they could expect to see coming in terms of the federal contracts. That is what they've highlighted. Deal wins have been good as well. Bookings, a bit of a mutedness is where we saw muted performances where we saw coming in from the company. So that was a bit of a negative. But read-through that comes in for IT companies. Like I was saying, federal contracts, that's a headwind coming in. For Indian IT companies, they do not have much exposure, limited exposure. So not much of a worry that comes in here. AI momentum, that is continuing for Accenture. So that is expected to do well for Indian IT companies. We are also seeing a pace in terms of pickup in pace for generative AI as well as bookings on that terms as well. Financial services, they have remained strong for Accenture. So the read-through for Indian companies turns out to be positive. Margins, a 10 basis point expansion is what we're seeing. But analysts are expecting that margins maybe for Indian IT company could remain muted. Overall, the read-through that comes in is for especially mid-cap IT companies. We could expect to see a positive move coming in, maybe open up in the red given that this geopolitical scenario that are coming in. But otherwise, from the red, it's expected to move to the green. And for mid-cap IT, we're expecting positive signs.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Very well, let's hop across to Vamakshi. She's here to tell us about some of the small finance banks. Vamak, morning.
Morning, Nigel. A lot of these small finance banks will be in focus today with the likes of AU Small Finance Bank, Ujjivan, Equitas. All of these counters are expected to open higher, and that is because there has been an RBI circular, and effective FY26, the additional component, which was at 35% of priority sector lending, is now reduced to 20%. Therefore, the overall PSL requirements now stand reduced to 60% from 75% earlier. This essentially means that SFBs will now have to allocate a lower portion of their lending to specific sectors of the economy, and brokerages appear to be quite positive regarding this development. Morgan Stanley says that this is a structural positive as it will give small finance bank greater flexibility in terms of portfolio diversification as well as operational yields. They also add that they will also likely improve their potential growth run rate over the long term. As far as Citi is concerned, they believe MFI segment was leveraged to achieve PSL targets and sub-targets, and SFBs with relatively more diversified portfolio can now scale up their non-PSL portfolio. So bodes well, expect all of these stocks to do well.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Vamakshi, for that. Let's talk about Dr. Lal, PathLabs and Metropolis as well. Ekta has got those. Ekta, morning.
Morning. Well, the news with regards to diagnostics is that Amazon India has launched an at-home diagnostic service allowing users to book tests through their Amazon app. Now, what Amazon has said is that the reason for this is that it really completes Amazon's healthcare trio in India, which is launching the launch of the Amazon Pharmacy 3 years ago and Amazon Clinic around 6 months ago. So Amazon has partnered with Orange Health and they will be offering these services in 6 major cities and will be available across 450 plus PIN codes, operating daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I did have a word with the Amazon management and they did mention that as of now, the tie-up is only limited to Orange Health and they will not be an aggregator for many more diagnostic labs to come through, at least in the near term. So that's the reason why I think, a couple of these diagnostic companies could be under pressure today.
Okay, Ekta, we'll watch out for them, keep them on the radar. Thanks very much for that. A couple of other stocks are in the headlines as well this morning. Let's go across to Ria to look at that list. Ria, morning.
Morning, Surbhi. First, taking a look at BEL. Positive news flow for this one. They've secured orders worth rupees 585 crores since the 5th of June. And these orders are largely related to fire control and sighting systems for missiles, as well as communication equipment and jammers as well. Remember, the total order book of the company is in excess of rupees 71,000 crores. And the company is also expecting order inflows of about rupees 27,000 crores in FY26. And this is X of the QRSAM order that they're expecting this year as well. Moving on to Godrej Properties, this one expected to open in the green as well. They've registered sales of about rupees 2,000 crores for their Bangalore project. They've sold about over 1,450 homes with over 2.2 million square feet of area. This is in the first phase of the project, the Godrej MSR City project, which has a total potential of 5.6 million square feet. So it still has significant unlaunched inventory remaining to be sold. On the flip side, LT Foods expected to open in the red today. The US DOC, which is the Department of Commerce, has imposed the highest countervailing duty of 340.27% on exports of soya bean meal by EcoPure, which is an arm of the company. And the duty has been applied for the period from January 1, 2023 to December of 2023.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Ria. Well, let's hop across to Manisha. She's here to tell us about the big story of the weekend. Crude oil prices spiking. It'll have its implications on various stocks as well. Morning, Manisha.
Morning, Nigel. Thank you for that. Well, yes, the knee-jerk reaction, as everybody expected, was 5.5% on the higher side, where we did see the crude oil prices go to $81 a barrel as soon as the markets opened post the weekend. But currently, we are just trading about 2% on the higher side. We are near Jan 2025 highs. But no immediate response from Iran has led to slight easing in prices. Well, the markets have been dealing with threats and markets have been dealing with expectations on what could go further, and that perhaps is already baked into the prices. Oil prices have already climbed 10% since Israel launched its attack on Iran a week ago, and both US and Brent have remained below $80 a barrel. So 80 at this point in time does look like a resistance, while of course there are various worst-case scenarios on if there is an impact on Iran production, if there is a closure of Strait of Hormuz, if there is a regime change in Iran. So there are a lot of ifs that the markets are working with, but until they actually see that playing out, there's a tough chance that the crude oil prices will cross above 80 and stay above those levels. We already have a $10 off a war premium baked up into the prices. From here on, you'll need to see way more in sense of those threats played out for the crude prices to gain up.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. Well, let's quickly recap our list of stocks to watch this morning. The ones that have positive news flow around them would be IT names, small finance banks, BEL, Godrej Properties, and of course oil and gas stocks, while stocks with negative news flow would be Dr. Lal PathLabs, Metropolis Healthcare, LT Foods, oil marketing companies, and paint stocks. We'll take a quick break on that note, come back on the other side, and we'll have Prakash Diwan join in with some fundamental stock analysis.